All right. Welcome back to school. Rather than going over the syllabus in class, I gave you that syllabus, and I figured doing the syllabus in video format would help us sort of use class time more wisely. So there are two basic critical rules that I have in my classrooms, and they really do work. Um, the first rule is, especially when we're in class discussion and when you're with your individual groups, you need to respect whoever is speaking. This can mean obviously me, and it can and really also means your peers. You really want to be listening to everyone and making sure that you're taking into consideration what they are saying. That is critical rule number one. The other rule is participate. Now, you might not think of that as a rule, but if you are participating, that means you are not doing a host of other things that you're not supposed to be doing. Very important. These two rules, I think if you follow them, respecting the speaker and participating, you will not have any sort of problems. But if there are problems, there are consequences. Um, Obviously, you should be told you're doing something wrong. That would be a warning. Um, there is a participation points penalty that could be levied against you. And we'll talk more about how your participation is graded. And then, of course, a call home or an administrative referral. I wrote a total of 0 disciplinary referrals last year. That is always my goal. But it is an option, and I hope we never have to use it in this class. Sorry, stuff's popping up. Okay. As a procedural matter, one person in the bathroom at a time. Every classroom has a sign in, sign out QR code that if you're leaving to go to the bathroom or have to go to the nurse or have to go get something at your locker, you sign out. It's simply making a record that you left the room. You were asked to bring in 20 mechanical pencils. Please bring them in by Thursday the 8th. Thursday the 8th, we are also going to have a short syllabus quiz. And that syllabus quiz is very simply to see if you watched the video and read through your syllabus. Everything that you need to really know for that quiz is contained in this video. 85% of your grade is determined by your performance on assessments, which are tests and quizzes. Quizzes are generally somewhere between, say, 20 and 50 points, and tests are generally out of 100. So you can count on a test being 2 or 3 times the amount of weight as a quiz. And 85% of your grade is based on those assessments. 10% of your grade is based on participation, and I grade participation through rubrics that you fill out about yourself. And you have to justify your participation grade, essentially, through your responses. And 5% of your grade is based on homework completion. I'm not asking that your homework be completely accurate. I'm asking that you make a good faith effort to do it. And it's very simple. Everybody starts with 100, and for each homework not completed, you lose 10 points off that 100. So it really is a grade that it's not a performance grade, it's a true completion grade, and you get 10 points off for each homework that you have not completed. And we're going to establish a new procedure for submitting homeworks at least some nights through Google Classroom. 4 things you need to bring with you every day. I hope these would be obvious. Your 3-ring binder notebook. Everything I give you will be hole punched. We're not going to use a textbook. We are not going to have a 3-ring notebook. A spiral notebook or anything like that. I will give you worksheets that I've made and have used over the years, and they will go right into your notebook. The second is your calculator. You should be getting. You should have a TI 84. An 83 is acceptable. The 84 is a little bit better. And that's the same calculator you used in previous grades. Third thing, pencils. While I collect pencils for everyone to use, that's why you're bringing the 20 mechanical pencils. Obviously, the expectation is that you bring your writing utensils. However, of course, in the scheme of the day, you might lose something. You might have forgotten to bring something. That's why we do the pencil collection. And 4, obviously your homework um, and notes from the previous day. By the way, this is a good time to mention that generally speaking, you should not throw away anything. If your binder gets too full, you can certainly go home and take another binder and put everything in there, but do not throw anything away. You will need your notes for the midterm and final. Maybe most importantly, our class has one mission. It's not to get an A, and it's not to impress your parents, and it's not to quote learn. It's really to learn how to think better. And this is key. I am going to ask you to think. I'm going to ask you to think every day. I'm going to ask you to think about things you may not want to think about. I'm going to ask you to think about things that you might have a hard time thinking about. All of those things that we think about are getting us to think better. That's the ultimate goal of the course, is to learn how to think better and think mathematically. All right, thanks, guys.